Monday live. I'm going to go back on my word a little bit. A little bit. I'm going to do something I said I wouldn't do. I'm not entirely, but somewhat. All right, I'm going to do some face prepping while people get on, just with my Milk Hydro Grip, adding a little powder. I've been up since 5 on my own. That's what happens when you spend a year waking up at 5. You just start waking up at 5. I don't mind doing it, but I like my quiet coffee time. I do, because it's the only time. But hi, hello, how are you? This is my new segment. I'm going to push for 8 o'clock. I know it's an hour after that, but today was the first day and it was just different and things hit me like a ton of bricks today. But hi, I'm going to go live every Monday. I'm going to shoot for 8 a.m. Good morning, Desiree. Good morning, Danielle. First time catching you, like, yay. Okay, mark it, I guess, on your calendars. Every Monday, 8 a.m. I'm going to do it unless 9 a.m. works. I feel like 8's a safe time. 9 I can get away from myself depending on the day. But I'm going to shoot for 8 a.m. every Monday, Pacific time. I'm in Oregon, so 8 a.m. Pacific time. I was going to do 7th, and we don't need to hear all this. So hi. Hello. I am going to do my makeup on my last, let's see, I'm trying to think. I did my brush comparison with the OG brush. I have since done a little bit of research. I have a cream stick makeup. This is the Merit bag. With first purchases, you get a free bag, and I fell victim because it's a really cute bag. I am going to show the difference between a stick cream and a Seint cream. And I'm not here to trash the creams, because I do believe if you have maturing skin, creams are where it's at. What cream you use, you know what? I just like sharing makeup, and Seint is by far the one I like the most. And then gosh darn it, I was able to do the darn thing with it. And I know it's an MLM and people feel a certain way about MLMs, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not dying for a dollar here. Before I joined Seint, I'm just going to get up on a high horse here a little bit, not a high horse, but a little bit of a TED Talk. I joined Seint because I was a stay-at-home mom in the middle of a pandemic and I was flippin' lonely. And I really liked makeup, and being a stay-at-home mom. I used to be a single mom, and man, boy, something like this would have really helped me back then. But being a stay-at-home mom, it's incredibly isolating without a pandemic. And I just missed having friends, being able to be around friends but I'm also an introvert. And so this was perfect. This is like the best couch potato. I talk to people without having to shower. And so I do this because it's fun. And the fact that it's an MLM, I've never done an MLM. I wasn't a Scentsy girl. I wasn't a Tupperware girl, but it is what it is. I like the makeup. You can find a Scentsy. I love Scentsy. There's little dryer discs. I'm a sucker for those dryer discs. I love them. So there's good product with MLMs. If you let the stigma get to you, I'm sorry. I'm not that MLMer. Anyways, I like cream makeups, especially for maturing skin. I like the longevity of Seint over stick makeups, and I'm going to show you on either side of my face. I'm still going to do my color correcting. No, I'm not, because I'm going to compare it, and I want you to get the stuff. Okay, so we'll put Seint here, and we're going to put it. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm sorry. It's taking me forever to just get it on my face. Good morning, Brittany. Okay, here, I know I said I wasn't going to trash them, but I am going to trash their prices. I got a notebook. So OG, that is the brush I used. Our brushes are double-ended, and we have a variety of light, medium, full coverage style brushes, fluffy brushes, dense brushes, short brushes, long brushes. They have one brush, one-ended, and this is the brush that rules them all. It is $58 and shipping, because shipping is free after $100. Now, that's not hard with their products because their cream sticks, like a stick, is $64. Hello, Ashley. Good morning. And to me, that's a lot. Plus, OG's return policy is you can return anything as long as it's unused. So if you don't know if it matches your skin and you use it, you can't return it. That's $64 you can't return. Seint gives you a 30-day return policy, and you can use the crap out of it. If you want to try the makeup, see how it works, let your skin adjust to a cream makeup, especially if you've been using something like Bare Minerals or just regular foundations, your skin should adjust, and Seint gives you that time. I believe Merit also gives you some time. Merit, this is their sticks, $38. So Seint is still significantly cheaper. It's $16 a color, 30-day return policy, free shipping over 50. Merit is 40. Their brushes are very similar. It's one-ended, one style. This is it. It is $32. So I just wanted to put that out there. Pricing, the OG is just boggling. I was going to get one, but I was like, I'm not going to spend that much money on a makeup that I know I'm not going to use. But I had bought this because I liked the bag. What's wrong with me? I don't know. But I am going to compare the foundation coverage of Merit, and I'm going to show why this brush I think works with them, because they are a bit more slick. Okay, real quick, I'm going to do the basics. Main highlight, brightening highlight, contour, and blush. I'm not going to do bronzer. I'm not going to do my correcting. So for Seint, with a brush, a free palette, everything to put in is $111 and free shipping. And that's with a double-ended brush of your choosing. There's variety, okay? Like variety, 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 variety. There's variety. Do I have that brush? I have double brushes. There's variety of brushes, and they're $40, and it's like getting two brushes. OG, if you got the same basics, $244. That's a lot of stinking money. And you can't return it if you touch it. And Merit, it is $168, and it comes with a bag. $168. So Seint is still, obviously, I like Seint. So I'm not going to trash their product. It's a good product. I do like it, but I'm going to show you how it works. I think these brushes work. This is a really fluffy brush. I feel like it picks up our makeup because I think our makeup with the pigmentation makes it a bit more, I get more longevity out of it. I did the comparison. I have actually tried the Merit. You can see it's been touched and tampered with because I just was curious for my own, I like makeup. I think this brush, with it being as fluffy and it doesn't have a density to it, I'm having trouble getting the Seint to stick and stay on my nose. Noses are hard. They can be a little bit greasy. I'm only using e.l.f. Powder Grip Power. It doesn't have silicone in it. Any suggestions? Do you have oily skin? And are you a face toucher? I'm a face toucher. My chin, I'll move my makeup on my chin because I'm always like, I touch my face right here a lot. So my makeup lifts a little bit here because I'm a face toucher. And so, yeah. But if you're oily, I would say I think the e.l.f. one is pretty comparable to this. I would say get setting powder and prep with setting powder. I like to go over my face with setting powder, both yes, and I mainly, okay, that's probably why, but I would get, so what I do is in my purse, which I don't have in here with me, I have everything. I'm gonna try not to make this a really long live. On Amazon, you can get these little poofs, and I keep one of these. I don't get an extra, if you have an extra palette, do this. Don't buy an extra palette if you don't need it, because they come in those sachet bags, which again is in my closet there. I keep this with the lid in my purse, and in those little sachet bags, these will slide in together, and I touch up like that. And you can do the blotting papers if you want to do blotting papers to help pick it up, but if you feel it, I would definitely keep this with you just for touching up, and that will help these two things together in your purse. That's what I would do. That is what I do. I use a lot of setting powder, and I like ours because it doesn't create a bunch of texture. All right, so I'm going to show this Merit over on this side with, I'm going to use my OG brush. I couldn't believe how much this brush was. I want to try putting it on the brush this way, the way we do, and see how it picks up. I just feel like this brush doesn't pick up well of product when I tried it with Seint, but so here's the thing, I like their makeup. Cream is cream. The pigmentation, so Seint is 80% pigmentation, and stick creams are double the traditional pigmentation, and traditional is 18, so it's roughly 40%. So we're double the pigmentation, and I think that makes our creams a little thicker, and because the pigment's higher, you need less. But you can go like this and apply the makeup on, and I think it gives you good coverage. I mean, it covered my my stuff. I like creams for maturing skin. I like longevity out of my makeup more. And that's where I think I just have to build this up a bit, but it does give good coverage over the makeup. And you can see it makes a nice coverage. This isn't a great match. It's really hard to match. You can't, it's not sold in stores. I've been tempted to try Fenty. I like it. It's just a little slicker. And so I think there's a little more movement with it, but creams aren't bad. And it gives you good coverage and it can be built up, brought down. A lot of people like to take it and smear it on and then tap it around. But Merit also does not have a contour. They use their bronzers as a contour. Nothing wrong with it. People do that all the time, but it does give good coverage. It's hard to get an exact match because you don't have somebody to talk to. So there's a whole returning back and forth kind of a thing probably, because if this was my ride or die, this was the one I was going to use and Seint wasn't a thing, I'd be returning this for a different color, but it's not worth the time for me. But it's not a bad match. But I like this brush because I think it works well with slick makeup, which I think stick foundations are a bit slicker. That's my opinion. That's where I'm going to leave it. I am going to use a somewhat similar brush. I'm going to use the Buff brush. It's the one I found to be the most similar. Gosh, I'm torn. This is where I'm having a hard time because I feel like while this brush looks different, this is just such a, it's so hard to find a dang brush this is a good light to medium coverage brush. I'm going to use the demi shape brush as a comparison. I feel like that's the best one I can do, but it is double-ended. This one is not, so this end will be really good for my under eyes. But I'm going to go into my Athens, which I have another one ordered. It's low. I'm not melting it because I'm lazy. And it still gives you coverage the same. With Seint, you get me, and we get to talk about your shades, and we get to customize your match. But I like my Seint makeup. I think I like my Seint makeup, but I did want to say ours is a bit thicker, and the longevity I get out of it, I like more. I'm still able to get the coverage I want, and I have less product on my face. Now, again, I didn't color correct before. Do I think you need to color correct? Probably not. Our pigmentation is really good. But I like what it gives me as a final result, and that's why I do it that way. But it's just less makeup, and I still get the same coverage. It's just a bit more of a truer tone over here, whereas this is gonna pull a little warmer on me, and that's it. But any of the makeups that you get, you can morph and mix with our contours and our blushes. So if you have a makeup you like, you do not have to quit it. You can easily do cream contours and cream blushes and get that nice finish if you have a foundation you like. I use Aura for my main highlight. I feel it could be a bit darker. Is Athens a good one? So do you feel that it pulls warm? So Aura is almost the same as Candlelit. Candlelit just is a more cool tone. I have everything so I can swatch it. But, so here's Aura. And it's a nice light color, and Athens is quite a bit darker. So this is Candlelit, and so it's the same level, but it's cool toned, and so it can look a little bit darker. I would try Candlelit because Athens is darker. If you feel that you've gotten some color, I would try, gosh, I don't know. Without a color match, I really don't know. But this is Aura, this is Candlelit, and this is Athens. And Athens is just quite a bit darker. So I feel it's slightly too light. There's a part of me that wants to tell you to try Candlelit without, I would say message me a picture. If you click the link, there's a little envelope box. Click on that and just email me a picture. And then we can do it that way. That's easier. And that doesn't mean you're opening up your email to me sending you 5 to 10 messages. I'll answer your question and leave you alone. I don't like that. That was one of the things that put me off, and that was one of the big questions I had when I was joining Seint, is I asked, like, what are we allowed to do? So now I'm just adding brightening because I only have this one. And so now I'm just gonna do my makeup I'll just add it the same. This is Athens. I can't wear Aura. It creates a lot of texture and I have maturing skin. But there we go. I'm going to use my Athens on the small end to use as a prep corrector on my under eyes. I've seen some people do this and it looks really good. And so I'm going to do that and then I'll go in and I'll brighten. But I'm going to use this end. This is the Demi Shape brush and I really like it, especially if you like a good medium light coverage. You're not going to get full coverage with this brush. It's just too fluffy, and the fluffier the brush, the lighter the coverage. And then you can use this little end down here for brightening and getting into those little areas. And I'm going to hit her. It is very similar though. I just like with Seint, you can talk to somebody and you can get a true tone match. I found picking this color to be kind of difficult and it didn't match when I got it. All right, I'm going to pinch it, grab some brightening, and we're going to go under the eye here and over here just as a pop color. Have you ever heard people use that term? They just bring their main highlight all the way up and then they just brighten the inner corner and this outside. I had somebody request to have me use Duke, and I'm going to use Duke today. Duke is a blue eyeshadow. It is a shimmer. I'm going to use that today with these, and it's really pretty. All right, I am going to grab my Merit and bring it up higher here. Oh, it's really hard to pick it up on a brush, not gonna lie. That is not something I would recommend. But maybe if I stamp it, it'll make it. It does move really easily. That was one of the things that I geek out on, is watching people apply the creams. Oh, it's just kind of mesmerizing on those things. And so I totally, but $68 for a color that you can't return if you touch it is insane. All right, small end going in on my brightening, and I'm just gonna touch it. I think creams, I just think creams are the best way when you have maturing skin, and it can be Seint, it could be something else. I really just like to give an honest opinion, because I cannot get on here and just be like, this is trash. It's because it's not. It just, to me, it didn't have the longevity, but I also have oily skin, and I think that plays a big factor in things. All right, brightening's done, staying on the big end. I'm gonna go into Indigo, and I'm pinching it, and I'm gonna just sweep it over here and over here. I like Indigo, especially if you're going to forego bronzer. It's really pretty. It has a touch of redness to it, so it can work and look like you have a bronzer on when you don't. I mean, that's pretty. And it has that high pigmentation, and it has that density, so it stays put really well, especially if you're gonna be in the heat. I think something like Indigo or Astoria work really well with staying where they need to stay. Grabbing it again. This will be the tell. Over here, I always stipple because I don't want to move the product I've put on that's covered my stuff. With Indigo, I do try to hang it back because I don't want it to lift this stuff through, especially since I didn't color correct. But that's nice. It's such a scary color. I mean, you see that and you're like, I don't know what you're thinking, but it's good. It is good. Okay. Going over here now, I have Merit covered that pretty darn good, but when you pop something like this on it, it can easily move things. So stippling right there. It does give good coverage. It's just, it moves really easily because it's a bit slicker. All right, I'm bringing this up a little higher. All right, I found some dupe brushes on Amazon. Ooh, try them and let me know. All right, we're popping this on, and that's just my Indigo. We're gonna do the nose. I'm just using the big end and pinching it. I do think this brush is pretty comparable to this guy. For the price though, man, if I'm spending $60 on a brush, I want it to be more than just light medium coverage. That's my only thing. And if I try it and I don't, because I had buyer's remorse with the price. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, but it was night. And who thinks about what they're buying at night? Nobody. They just buy. And and I bought it, and I woke up the next day. I was like, no, I shouldn't have done that. And I emailed them, and they shipped it. And then they said, as long as I don't use it, I can return it. And I thought, well, I'm going to get it. I'm going to try it. But they won't take it back if I try with it. And I'm like, that seems unfair. Return policies are a big decider for me. And I'm a lazy returner. You should see my room. I have 3 piles of returns that have been sitting there for a year that I can't return. And I just don't move them because we all have, that's my toxic trait is I yell at my kids to clean their room while mine looks like a tornado hit it. But there we go. That's a good looking nose. But yeah. All right, we're going to go in to do blush. I'm going to use Hollywood. I feel Frenchie is a great color. I don't like it as a standalone color because I have a light medium skin tone. So I use Hollywood so I can have some color, but it doesn't pull my scarring through. So I'm just going to grab that on the fluffy and I always start up here and then I'm going to bring it down. Just purchased some balm. Can't wait to try it under my eyes. And I'm reading questions because they disappear after the live is gone. And on my lids to see if it helps eliminate creasing. Okay, Desiree, I did it and I really liked it. I've never liked using Angel's Landing. I bet it would be really pretty with Aries. They're very high fleck shimmers. And I put it just on the mid of the lid. And when I put it on, I didn't have creasing. It was really nice. And then I do think it makes a difference under your eyes. It's a habit I need to get into. I just keep, it takes 21 days to make a habit, and I just need to make the effort of a habit. But today I didn't want to do any of the preps except for primer, so I could get on here and give a good comparison to Merit. I think coverage is good. I think the look is very nice. I like that Seint has more variety in their shades. It's a bit more inclusive, my opinion. And I think it has longer longevity. But I did want to show it. I mean, you can't tell a difference. I think the only difference is this is $32. I closed my book. $32 and this is $16. But you can't tell a difference. And there you go. That's what I'm going to say. And you get a bigger variety with your brushes. Okay. Gonna go grab my contour again. Gonna use the small end. I'm gonna pinch it, grab it, and I'm gonna go right here. My kids are playing with the guitar. Bless them though for not coming in. But I like adding that shadowing there. I'm gonna grab my brightening. This end is a really great brush, this little end, because it doesn't over apply when you're doing that light coverage, and that's really important down here under the eyes. But I think the only difference side to side is this side's a little warmer because it's not a great match, but it's the same. I'm gonna grab a little bit of contour and I'm gonna go here and here. Because I feel like indigo has warmth to it, I can bridge my neck to my face with it. Yeah. All right, I am gonna grab the multitasker brush. I love that brush. I hope somebody took advantage of that sale last week where it came, because this is a great lip liner brush. I'm going to use the big end and I'm going to go into indigo. And now that I've contoured my lips, I'm going to use it to line them. I like if a basic, simple palette of 4 colors can do a lot of things. You can even use it as a eyeshadow. You can use it to, I'm going to contour my under eyes instead of using a eyeshadow. I'm going to use my contour. All right, so I've lined. I want it thicker. Darker, darker, darker. I really like indigo with almost any color. It's super pretty. All right, got that on. I'm going to grab Hollywood with it. Look at how pretty that is. The balm, if you put on a satin finish and you feel that your lips look really dry, just tap on some balm. It's gonna be fine. All right, there we go. Mixing Hollywood with indigo. That's a pretty color. Okay, I'm gonna whip on my brows. I always just keep them in a little palette. I wish Seint still sold these. These were such a good palette. I am going to draw these puppies on. I get asked about my brows a lot. I like Seint's line brush because it's small, and I start at this bottom corner and then I just go up and over and I outline the lower. I use Trust as my brow color. I like Oak also. Oak is it's a nice universal color for brows, and then you can get it wet and deepen it a little bit, and you can whip in some hair strokes. But I just go about 1/4 of the way in, outline the top, do a quick flick at the corner here, and then I just start blending out that bottom line and that top line and just try to fill in the gaps and extend the tail. And that's the way I like my brows to look. Flip it to this end. You can use the brow wax. I need to get a new one put in. That's why I'm not using it. I like new brow wax rather than that kind of brow wax. That looks gross. And so bottom corner, up and over. It's tight and dense, and so you get control, whereas other brushes can be a little flimsy if they're longer or wider. That's just what I think. And then a quarter of the way in, and then just following that natural lash line. When I'm trying to clean up my brows, I draw them on like this, and then whatever falls outside of what I've drawn on, I tweeze. And that's how I get my brows the way I want them. I might have brought that too low, but just blending this out, and then we're just gonna fluff it and blend it, pick up the excess, and ta-da! I need to fix this corner here. Okay, let's do our eyeshadow. I'm gonna use my brightening. I'm gonna stick with this brush, putting my white peach on my lid. This just cancels out all this discoloration and covers those veins. And then I'm going to use an eyeshadow in my little collection here to set it. I feel like lipstick looks horrible on me no matter what the color. It makes me so sad. It makes me sad too. Unless it's a gloss. Have you tried the glosses? Because these are the two shades of the season, but which one is this? Homecoming. That one's really pretty. It's really pretty. I like to slather it on with the actual tin, not with my fingers. Very pretty. All right, so I am going to take a little bit of drift up here because it doesn't matter. I like having shimmer. I am who I am. I'm never gonna not do that. If I am, there's a reason. But I am gonna go into Valencia next. It's this color right here. I'm gonna go in with that fluffy end of the shape brush, and I am going to put that all over my lid, and I'm doing that for two reasons. It has a little bit of warmth to it, and so I'm gonna bring it up top on that brow bone, just pinching it, and it makes this really pretty neutral. Look how pretty that is, and you could just stop right there, and this just helps it from creasing. If you find you crease a lot, if you have really hooded eyes, I get into a color there. If you find that you have very hooded eyes or lots of creasing on your lids, I got some Midnight up there, I would find a really good primer. NYX has a really good one, and I always liked the Too Faced. That's what I used before I was using my creams, and I could sleep in my makeup. And I heard Unique has a good one. I know that's an MLM competitor, but I know somebody who uses that, and she wears her eyeshadow for 3 days. Now, I get at her about doing that, but she loves that primer, and it works for her, and I'm, whatever. All right. So I'm just putting that Valencia up, and it just has a nice warmth to it. I love it. I like it. And I'm going to go find an eyeshadow brush now. I never pull my brushes out ahead of time. Sorry. All right, cleaning tile in here. I'm going to grab a little more Valencia, and I'm going to pop that up here just to add a little more. I'm just giving my brow bone a wash. This is working as kind of like a peekaboo transition color, like that. I'm going to go in on my short end, and I'm going to go into Midnight. Boom, Midnight, tap it off. I am going to go right here on the outside. Midnight is just this really pretty, it almost looks like it's like a purpley blue gray, like a storm cloud, like Sherwin-Williams storm cloud. It's such a pretty color that I always forget about. And I'm going to put that on the outer lid, and then I'm coming out past the outer corner, and I'm just kind of smashing this around. I like my eyeshadow to come up and out. Just depends. Find how you want your eyeshadow to lay, and then do the same thing and switch out colors. I'm doing this. This is an eyeshadow look I did a long time ago, like a year ago, and I always forget how much I love it. I'm taking that same Midnight, and I'm going here on the inner lid, right here, which is not my use. And I'm going to bring it across that crease. Just adding it like that. All right. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking for comments. If you have questions, ask away. Say, hey, where are you from? I'm in Oregon. It's cloudy. I swear we're never going to get summer. Going on that outer lid, pulling it out and up. Out and up. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. All right, grabbing it again. I am going to take a little extra time on this just because it's not my usual. I'm going to push on the bottom part of my brow bone to bridge them together. It's just above the crease. It's a very, very pretty color. So we're just popping that up and out. I'm going to put a little under the eye. I know I said I was going to do indigo, but I kind of want to try this because I change my mind all the time. All right. There we go. Okay, I'm going to grab Duke. Duke is such a pretty color. I actually never wanted to use it. I call it like Cinderella blue. It's so pretty. And I'm putting it right here in the middle, and it's just very pretty. And I had a lady, she was like, I want to try that one. And I put it on her and I was like, that is so pretty. It's not retro blue, but look at, I think that's really pretty. I think it's really pretty. I like this being put on top of other colors too, like Daba D. Daba D under lots of, I know Daba D is like a, does anybody know what Daba D is? I don't know, but Daba D is Mimi Blue. Drew Carey show, Mimi Blue, that's Daba D, but you can take Daba D and use that as a base under so many colors. You could put it under Tawanda, which is a pink. Let's play with these eyeshadows really quick just so I can show you. So this is Daba D, right? And you can put that on and it's so scary. You can put this on and then you can use it as a base for so many great colors. So Bayou is probably one of my favorites to stack it with. It's turquoise. And you can just tap that on top of it and it turns it into, look at how it just changes it into, and it just really punches it up. It's so pretty. That's with Bayou. Another one is Duke, but you could also take Tawanda, which is this pink color, and put that on top of it. And it just changes the color a little bit and it makes it so pretty. Keeping it that blue color, it can be pretty. And then we of course have Duke. My fingers starting to look crazy. And it just, look at how pretty that is. It's pretty. Don't pass by Daba D if you got something wild coming up. I think, I don't know. I always like to pop it on. And when I say use it, I mean, you could use it like I'm using Duke right now. It's just a touch of color, a touch of color. I'm trying to think of which one I used it with, but I played with it and I was like, holy guacamole, this is really pretty. I put it all over my lid and I didn't think I looked that bad, but that's just me. All right, let's set it. If you're oily, De-Slick by Urban Decay is really good. I'm going to take that one brush and I'm going to, I don't have powder on it. I'm just pressing the setting spray into my skin. I don't know the consistency of the OG stick makeup. I just know the consistency of their brush and it's too much money for this little brush. But I think that the way that these bristles pull make moving a makeup like this easy. I just felt like when I used this with Seint makeup the other day, I felt like it was picking up the makeup rather than moving the makeup. So I think a brush like this does work with these kinds of more slick, lower pigmentation stick makeups. They're still very good and very buildable if that's what you're wanting. I like the longevity I get out of my Seint makeup. And that's just how I feel. Cloudy here in Washington. Oh yeah, Washington, you're basically Oregon. But waiting on the sun to come out. Yes, yes. But that's my face. I feel like I did pretty good. I'm not here for an hour, but I did want to do a comparison with the stick makeup without trashing it, because I don't think they're bad. I don't. I just think they're a little slicker. They have less pigmentation. Good morning. And I like them. I don't think it's bad. I just don't like the longevity I get. I think it moves a little more than creams. Makeup will always move. It should, or it's doing some stuff to your skin. But you still get that dewiness. I think creams are really great for mature skin. And so I like Seints for longevity and pigmentation more, because I didn't do any correcting and I'm still getting a good amount of coverage. So I think my correcting makes my makeup stay a little better too, but especially where I need it to. But that's it. That's my face. And ooh, I want more. I want eyeliner. I have a hard time with my eyes not having eyeliner. So water lining or tight lining. I had somebody really get upset that I said waterline, and they all caps yelled at me. Maybe they don't know that that means yelling. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they all caps tight lining. It's called tight lining in all caps. I'm like, okay. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just a hobbyist who likes to play with makeup, but whoa, whatever. I'm gonna grab my eyeliner that's liquid, Stila Stay All Day on the small end, and I'm just gonna add a little baby wing. Hear those little feet? We've expired. You can hear they're breathing. They breathe like the offspring of Darth Vader. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Our time has expired because children, but I did want to do the comparison of 62, always been called water lining. See? Oh gosh, I had somebody tight lining, but
Uh-oh.
okay, I'm gonna go because it's not gonna get better. But that's it. That's my Seint makeup compared to a cream stick that I said I wouldn't do, but I did it anyway. But it's good. It's good. I like my Seint better. All right. I'll see you guys next Monday.
Mama, are you talking to the blue girl here?
No, I'm not.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to YouTube people. They're the YouTubers. They're my YouTube friends. Say hi,
I like everyone's hair.
Everybody, you guys have great hair today. But that's it. I'm going to do this every Monday. I'm going to shoot for 8 a.m.
Monday.
Have a good day.
Monday.